I mean, 15. I mean, the fact is, certain kids, well, we have it on tape, we'll figure it out, but I thought he said 50, maybe he said 15. Pardon me? Yeah, 1,500 a month, I think he said, but then somehow it got to a very high number. The point is, the same kids move around and everything. This is the point. So do we just give up on those kids? Do we, I mean, the point is that when we passed Kara, we talked about what the achievement was in that school on average. And what did every school try to do? Take their top class and make them better. And so the No Child Left Behind is supposed to try to close the education disparity, acknowledging that some kids have a much harder time because they start out behind, their parents struggled in school, and so they don't have the confidence to go into school and say, my child needs to be tested, my child is falling behind on reading, my child is struggling. And so they worry about their child and they're not sure what to do about it. And so we appropriated billions more dollars to go with No Child Left Behind to support the interventions and the opportunities, but said, yes, you have to teach every child. You can't have just the top layer of kids doing better. In any event, the standard we used in No Child Left Behind was very similar to the standard that we used in Kira. And it's offensive to hear somebody be so partisan that they would praise it then and criticize it now. We ought to instead put the partisanship aside. Try to figure out how to test how kids are doing. We can do this. I'm completely convinced that if John Yarmouth and I sat down, we could figure out a way of testing and changing the testing system so that it would be fair and accurate and efficient and authentic. That means that the really good kids really do well on the test, and the kids that are falling behind really show up on the test. There are a lot of potholes with testing, but I am completely convinced that even in the course of an election, that it's possible to figure that out. And that's what we need to do. Because I am the mother of 6 children. I was dyslexic myself. I can remember the conversation at the end of 2nd grade. I couldn't read. Should I be held back? And my parents hired a tutor because they could. And